Welcome to the second part of the podcast kind of thing. So instead of watching the whole podcast, I'm splitting them up into different parts. Part one was art. This is going to be people, groups, and I think something else. But anyway, this is one of my favorite parts of the whole podcast. This is where I actually talk about some of the people that have been actually inspiring me with their actions and their word. We're going to be talking about Brent Petit, Zachary Fremont, Sosus, and then Yes Theory. So, guys, without further ado, I hope you enjoy this one. This is one of my favorites. But yeah, with that being said, guys, let's get into part two of the podcast. So it's going to be people, artists, and groups. So this could be anybody who is doing something cool or I'm finding motivation from, obviously, or is inspiring me. So we're going to start off with one. His name is Brent Petit. I'm going to put his Instagram right here. And so if you haven't heard of him, let me rewind a little bit more. So for those of you who don't know, I joined Cosmic Academy. I think it's almost about a year ago, and I started to get to know all these people inside of there, and there's so many incredible people in there who are just so willing to help and enjoy, and there's so many people just grinding and doing what they love and working really hard. And one of the people I wanted to highlight was Brent Petit, because he actually spent most of this year, I don't know if he's back yet, in Germany, as he is a part of the Air Force. And so he's working on music, and he's a part of the Air Force. I don't know what he does in the Air Force, but I don't think anything in the Army is really easy. Maybe that's an assumption, but he's been working his ass off, working really, really hard, making music and doing this at the same time. And there's a lot of other people in Cosmic Academy. These just happen to be the people I know more than anybody else. There's doctors and there's lawyers who have full-time jobs and are making music and are doing their social media and everything else. And that kind of puts into perspective to me. It's if these people have time to do everything, I definitely should have time to finish all the things that I need, because I have a lot of time on my hands. And I mean, not only is his music really, really good, but that part itself acts as a real inspiration for me to be okay, well, whenever that voice in your head tells you, okay, well, maybe you should take another rest. Maybe you should, you don't need to really finish that today. You can finish it tomorrow. It kind of reminds me of hey, these people, they're working their asses off. You need to be working your ass off as well. And tomorrow, if you always say tomorrow never comes. And I think that's a big difference of why I'm sitting here in this room in Vancouver doing this podcast with you guys. As I mentioned a whole bunch of different times in a bunch of different episodes, it's just when you stop saying tomorrow and start saying I'm going to do it right now, everything changes for you. And I think he's a great encapsulation of that. That being said, we'll move on to the next one, and this one is for you, Zachary. I don't know if you're in here or not, but I am going to make sure I cut a little snippet out of this, and I send this one to you. So Zachary Fremont. What to say about Zachary Fremont? I know Andrew Pearson probably has something to say about this as well, but he released a song. I can't remember when. It's called Womp Womp, and he hasn't released a song since. And we're all waiting for another song to come from him. But Fremont is how I'm going to call him. He's been an inspiration this month because of the work that he's been doing with Cosmic Academy and on his own social media. He has mastered this really catchy, fast snappy form of micro content. On his IG story, he used to do this thing where he does what's it called, heads or tails, and he flips random things and people vote. And I'm that's genius. That's brilliant, right? Because you get people interacting with the social media, and it's always, I mean, it's essentially the same thing over and over again, but you just change the object so it's different, and it's almost limitless. You can flip anything, right? And he's also been doing a lot of really, I think, awesome work on Cosmic Academy, especially on their TikTok, which just launched this month. I'll put the link in the description below. Yeah, he's social media master. I'm gonna drink some more water. Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, Zachary. You're killing it. I'm gonna put his Instagram in here as well for you guys to check out. And so, okay, moving on from that onto the more music side of it. The number 3 on the people, artists, and groups, so part 2, is actually Sosus. Sosus. And I met Sosus a long time ago in front of a nightclub. I didn't really know who he was at the time because I didn't live in Vancouver at the time. But just seeing somebody locally be nominated for a Juno for one of his tracks, the track is incredible, and it must be such an unreal feeling. Like, for anybody who's watching this, if they're an artist, especially here in Vancouver or in Canada or anywhere for that matter, and you get nominated for a Juno, it's like, it must be kind of like surreal. Even if you don't win it, just getting like nominated must be such a cool feeling. It's like getting nominated for a Grammy, I think. I mean, obviously Grammys I think are probably a bit bigger, but that's really cool. That's like a national, not a national endorsement. Maybe it's a national endorsement, but like national recognition of like you've got good music. I think that's pretty cool. I think we can all agree that would love a Juno or a Grammy. So I don't know. I don't really talk to Sosus or anything like that, but regardless, I'm proud of him. I think that's an incredible achievement, and his music is really, really, really good. And I think he also released a song on the compilation album for Bitbird called "Create Together." I think so. Yes, he definitely did. So when that comes out, check that out as well. And so the last one on the second part of the people, artists, and group is one of my favorite YouTubers, and has been one of my favorite YouTubers, probably top 3 for me at least, is Seek Discomfort, or Yes Theory. Seek Discomfort is their clothing line, but yeah, Yes Theory has made some of the most, I think, not only their cinematography is incredible, their storytelling is amazing, and they always have this really hopeful tone to all of their episodes. And it acts like an inspiration for me because it teaches me that, and I put a little footnote in my little notes here, a reminder to enjoy life even when it's hard to enjoy. Meaning, I mean, sometimes it's really hard to enjoy especially when we're all quarantined up and we can't really go anywhere, and it's really hard to enjoy anything because you can't really go outside. And like, I remember before quarantine, I think I used to be a really, really social person. I would like talk to people, but now that I've been like most of the time just kept in my room and there's been quarantine going on, I've just become more and more like isolationist. Yeah. And seeing their videos has reminded me that it is really important to get out there and to talk to people, and some of the craziest experience happens when you just move outside of your comfort zone. And that's one thing I want to do for the rest of my life, is just, I mean, obviously measure the pros and cons of different situations, but going outside of your comfort zone is, when it's safe to do so, of course, is I think one of the most important things we can do to grow as people and as artists and everything else. Is like, sometimes you might try to make a song, or especially nowadays, a lot of artists are going outside what they're usually meant to do. Like Skrillex way back when was making hard dubstep, and then he started making house, and then he kind of bounces between it, and the people who love his music just love him and love him for what he does, right? And a lot of cool experiences on the other side of what makes you truly afraid. Like I remember I've always wanted to do skydiving, and last year I was really fortunate to be able to get the opportunity to go skydiving, and I realized like the whole experience is pretty scary, but when you're flying up, it's terrifying. And you're just thinking in your head, and like, in a few minutes I'm going to be jumping out of this plane in a parachute at 12,000 feet, and like everything in your body is telling you no, but after you get onto the lip of the plane and you see 12,000 feet down, you just jump. And I'm not kidding. It might seem absolutely crazy to some people, but after you jump, it is the most relaxing thing ever. At least for me. And that kind of, it was a really cool moment for me, because it's like at the point of maximum fear. I think Will Smith said this, at the point of maximum fear is calm. On the other side of that, I think. Woo. But yeah, so they're just encouraging me reminding me to enjoy life and to be open to new opportunities and new chances and new interactions with people. So yeah, that was the ending of part. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I know this one was a bit of a longer one. And again, shout out to everybody who was in this episode. You guys inspire me quite a bit. And I hope you guys keep on working at it and keep on killing it. And same thing with the groups yesterday as well. They're always doing their thing. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great Friday, and I will see you next time. Peace.